Hello, everyone. Welcome again to Ask Jerry, the Chartered Vendor, a program where we bring you business tips and we talk all things sales. And I am here with Jerry Nyazungu. Jerry, welcome to the program.
Hi, Abby.
I'm good, thank
Okay.
you. How is business?
It's okay.
Good
It's
as
fine.
always.
Yeah, it has to be good.
It is.
It has
Yes,
to be
it
good.
has. It has.
I can face challenges or problems, but business has to be good.
At least you know how to handle the challenges.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so today, like I mentioned, this program is about business and we also touch on sales. I wanted to know, I've heard a lot about a company not making sales. And there's this thing where the managers or the sales managers or the CEO will go straight to blame the salespeople.
salespeople.
Yes, and they'll probably fire the salespeople and say, let's hire people who are more talented, people who can sell. But who exactly is to blame for that when there are no sales? Is it the salespeople? Is it the company or the economy? Like most people would say, the economy is tough.
Exactly.
The money is not coming in. Who exactly do we blame when there are no sales in the company?
Yeah, I think what we need to do is I've actually consulted a lot of companies. I've got into a lot of meetings and it's usually the same like what you're saying. It's always the blame of the salespeople. But when you're looking at it, sales are made, it's a collective effort. When you're talking of sales, it also depends on the marketing as well. For example, it's easy for someone to sell a gadget like an iPhone. It's easy for someone to sell something which is known in the market. Like if something is popular, look at the book, The Chartered Vendor. Most often times when you get into a meeting and you say, this is the book, people will be like, oh, you are the guy. I once saw it on Facebook. I once saw it on YouTube. But I'll give you probably an example of the books which you have here. This one, we made a lot of effort. We made a lot of noise on the radio. We made a lot of noise on Facebook. We made a lot of noise on YouTube. We invested in a marketing budget. Hence, even when people are buying, it's easy for you to buy something which you already know. So marketing plays a pivotal role. If something is not marketed well, it's not known in the market, definitely it's going to be very difficult for salespeople to close the deals. I'll give you an example, even for insurance company. It's easy for someone to say, when someone comes here and say they're coming from Nyaradzo, it'll be like, people will give them audience, people will be open enough because they know them and they know what they represent. When someone is coming from Old Mutual, boom, it's okay. But if someone is coming from Chimuti Funeral Services, you'll be like dude, is my money safe? People have got a lot of questions. So sometimes we end up even blaming the salesperson, but the question is, do the salespeople themselves, do the product which you're selling, the service which you're offering, is it known in the market? So number one, the marketing aspect has to be on point. Then number two, as much as we have actually marketed that product, that service, do the people know how to sell? Which I noticed that most of the companies in Africa, they don't want to develop their salespeople. They think it's automatic. When you can speak, when you're fluent in English, you can sell. If you smile, you can sell. If you're light in complexion like Abby, you can sell. If you're beautiful, you can sell. But contrary to that, selling is a skill. It doesn't mean that you have to be an extrovert for you to sell. An introvert can also sell. That's if they are taught this unique skill of selling. So before you even blame changing your people like you're changing clothes, sometimes let us be introspective. Look at our internal systems. Look at what we actually have given these people. Have they been trained? Have they been coached to sell? Selling a service and selling a product, it's a different process. It requires different skills. Is the salesperson also looking presentable as someone is coming into the shop looking to purchase a good? So sometimes you're not even investing in their clothes. You're not even investing in their appearance. It's going to be a problem. Have you trained your people? Do they know what to wear? Sometimes people, when you know it's church service, they're on point. But when it's at work, people are saying it's just work. Number three, it's also, have you also equipped your sales team with enough for them to deliver. It starts from the room where they're operating from. Huh? It's winter. It's winter
It's
right
very
now.
cold.
It's very cold. Your salesperson is shivering, and you expect them to make calls. You expect them to sell more whilst they're feeling very cold. Is the environment itself, the chair where he is operating from, is not flexible. 2-3 hours, he now has back pain. The computer which she is using, I've actually met companies whereby they don't even have computers. And they say, why do we give a salesperson a computer?
How do they expect them to sell?
Exactly. I've coached salespeople who are sharing one phone. 3 salespeople sharing one phone. And they're expecting them to deliver, all of them. It's impossible. I've also coached people whereby airtime is a luxury to a salesperson in this kind of age, in AI age. No data, no airtime. Definitely you get what you're going to be investing into. You end up blaming the salesperson, but it's not the salesperson. It's because you didn't give them the gadgets. Then another factor which is also involved, the sales strategy itself. The strategy is never going to be determined by the salesperson. The strategy is supposed to be done by the management. We want to move these books in volumes, Abby. Are we going to be targeting one person? Or we're supposed to be targeting schools? If you're going to be targeting schools, A schools, B schools, or we're going to be targeting private schools. Who do we target in those schools? Are we targeting the headmaster? Are we targeting the student? Are we targeting the parent?
So the managers and the marketing team have to work hand in hand.
Exactly. So a strategy now is not comprised of the management, the marketing team, the sales team, and we say, no, we want to move. We want to get into Vic Falls. We've got a campaign to make. We want to go and sell in Vic Falls. Boom. We need transport. We need vehicles. We need to empower these guys. So when a sales strategy is wrong, you might think that that's why you notice that someone who failed to sell here can move into the next company and become the number one sales person. Because why? Probably our strategy is not as flexible as the other company strategy. I've had meetings with companies who deliberately say, we don't want to target individuals. We don't want to be a B2C company, a business to customer company. We just want to be a business to business company. Hence, when you close a deal in business to business, the check is big. The company has got the ability to pay you more. But if you target individuals, these people to spend $20, they struggle. So you have to know the strategy as well. Lastly, you are supposed to know the people you're going to put in a certain organization. If you look at, let's say, M&J, it's a formal environment. So if you put someone someone who was the best in selling suits might struggle selling a software. So you need to also say when you're recruiting, how are you recruiting the salespeople? So to me, 90% of the problems which most of the companies are facing has got nothing to do with salespeople. It's got something to do with the management.
It has to do with the management. Okay, so when do you say it is justifiable for the management to now blame the salespeople? Maybe let's say the sales team has been provided with the resources, enough training. When do we now say, okay, now this is the problem of the sales team?
Yes, they've been given everything. The car is there. The computer is there. A phone is there. Headphones are there. Environment is okay. Everything has been provided. Training has been done. Everything is there. We've invested in the product knowledge training. We've invested in the soft skills training. Everything you're given. You're given the opportunity, and we don't expect someone with a week to sell. We don't expect someone with 2 weeks to sell. We don't expect someone with 1 month to sell. But definitely, we expect some strides to say this person is developing into a salesperson we want. So you can only now fire when you have given that person a chance, you have given them a room, you have resourced that person, you have trained that person, and was from each and every training, Abby, if I train you right now how to do public speaking, there's something which I expect. To say, yes, you're not yet a professional, but I can see that you are thriving to be what? A professional. And the other time when you are supposed to fire a salesperson, that's if their attitude is off. At that time, don't even wait for a month. Don't even give them 2 months. Don't even give them a week.
Why
if you notice that
attitude,
attitude is when I'm talking, why attitude? Because sales is almost 99% attitude. That's why you notice that someone with good attitude, it's easy to train to be a good salesperson. Someone who can say, I can do it. Someone who say, if you give them 100 calls to make, they can say, I've never made 100 calls, but let me push, let me try. They're always in it. Especially someone who starts encouraging other salespeople to say, the management is giving us a lot of work. Someone who is now working as a gang leader amongst the salesperson, that person remove them in your team.
Those are the bad apples of the company.
Those are the bad apples. Say to a salesperson, yes, knock it off. Work starts at 7. Someone comes at 10 past 7. Work starts at 8. Someone comes at 10 past 8. You want them the first time. You want them the second time. You want them the third time. Boom, remove them from your team. Because why? This immediately, when the attitude is off, don't expect too many results from that person. When you give them an assignment, they don't do it. You give them a book to read, finish it in a week. They have a reason of not finishing it in a week. Definitely that person is never going to thrive in sales. Definitely. Because sales, it's a difficult job. It requires a lot of intensity. It has got a lot of rejection. You are dealing with human beings. This is the most difficult job which I know in this world. Besides probably the guy who feeds crocodiles, who feeds snakes.
Okay. So there's also the issue of the salespeople. I've heard a lot of people who sell things, they complain about the price of their products. Let's say maybe you have a team that sells softwares, and the prices probably range from 1,000 or more. They'll say, who buy from that? They complain about the price, and then they say, people in this economy, especially the African economy in Zimbabwe, they say the prices are too high and we cannot be selling at this price to our customers. I want you to answer that question just after this short ad break.
Okay.
We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
So, what makes us different from other consulting companies?
We offer the best business advisory that any company can benefit from. We also ensure that our customers excel in all aspects of their business operations. So, don't come to us just expecting business registration, setup, or a simple software solution. Let us be the doctor for your company. We'll examine all the challenges you're facing and prescribe the best tailored solution for you.
That way, we can build timeless, successful businesses together.
Are you failing to make sales? Or do you have a sales team that is failing to meet their targets? The Chartered Vendor Sales Institute is offering an intensive 12-week sales training program designed to offer your sales team with efficient sales skills. The program will include weekly sessions, 2 lecturers, practical exercises, and theory assignments. Through this Sales Institute's training, salespeople will be learning fundamental sales principles from prospecting, follow-up, closing, and negotiation. The grading system is mainly focused on practical exercises, accounting for 70% of your grading mark. Participants also undertake a capstone project to apply to real-life scenarios of what they would be learning, and they stand a chance to be certified by the Chartered Vendor. The Chartered Vendor Sales Institute is open for individuals and companies, and if you or your team members need to be part of this, you can get in touch on the numbers showing on the screen.
Welcome back to Ask Jerry, the chartered vendor. He was just about to tell us about the issue of prices and the economy and the salespeople failing to make sales because they blame the price of the product or the economy. What were you going to say about that?
Yeah, to me, when I hear about price, to me, I think price is a myth. When I'm saying price is a myth, is price has been focused on by layman salespeople, amateur salespersons. We think that if we drop the price, sales will suddenly increase, which I think it's a lie. Even if you're going to drop the prices of these books to $2, say get into the market, trust me, people will still not buy.
They won't buy
because
they'll say it's too high still.
They'll still say it's too high. So price has got nothing to do with, most of the times, price has got nothing to do with why you are failing to hit sales. There are a lot of factors which are involved. Have you built enough value? Have you identified where the problems are? And are you able to solve those kind of problems? Are you able to dollarize their problems? There are a lot of issues which are associated with, yes, the economy might be bad. Yes, price might be too high. That's why even if you notice, Abi, most of the times, most of the people, they actually want to spend more money. That's why you notice that if someone buys something which is expensive, they want people to know.
They feel proud.
They feel proud that I've spent a lot. If you notice, even with, I won't mention names, there's this other very rich guy in Zimbabwe driving his nice car, Maybach. He stopped at a robot. He actually had to open the window for people to see. So suddenly, because he was on First Street in Samora, where the RBZ is. So no one actually noticed him and no one was paying attention. Immediately, a young man just say, wow, and mentioned his name. He was more like, he wanted to
Have
check.
you seen me?
Yeah, exactly. Have you seen me? This is the dude who is driving a what? A expensive car. So to the contrary, people, they want to spend money. Look at what happens with young girls when they buy pizza. It's as if pizza cannot be finished in the pizza shop. Most of the times it's taken out of the pizza shop.
Walk around with the
Walk
box.
around with the box. They will drop. They don't even, when they're using the commuter omnibus or taxis, they make sure that they're left far away from their house, do some modeling, show people that I've bought expensive pizza. And people will be like, wow, hey, this girl, she has done it. So people, they want to spend money. So most of the people, if you've got an iPhone which is selling at $100, Abi, are you going to buy it? If I say I've got an iPhone and it's an iPhone 14
For $100
Pro Max,
I don't think it's a fake.
you see, so people, they are proud when they're buying things which are expensive. Price is a myth. Knock it off. It's not about price. The reason why most of the people are not buying, there are plenty of factors which are involved. I've noticed if you compete on price, the reason why most of the people compete in price because they lack selling skills. Hence, they'll end up focusing on, okay, this guy is selling at 20, so I should reduce and sell it at 19. This guy is selling at 18. And what are you doing? You're killing the industry. Price is continuously reducing in that industry to the extent that you and your competitor will cease existing in future. Look at what happened in the solar industry in Zimbabwe, whereby prices would keep competing on price, and price would diminish. And end of the day, people are now even buying panels for less than $100. But when they came, they were for $300. But because of supply, everyone who is coming in is thinking that let us compete on price. To me, I think competing on price is race to the bottom. The economy, in a salesperson or a company, must focus on what it can control. Sometimes throughout that economy, if there is power cuts, there's an opportunity in difficult economy. If there's any challenge which is there, if you scrutinize it well, look at it in a positive way, sometimes there's an advantage. Sometimes it's an opportunity to even grow. Sometimes it's an opportunity to slice into to certain industry. So I just want to tell them that no, knock it off. It's bad attitude when you think that the price is too high. It's bad attitude when you think that is economy. there are a lot of factors which are involved.
That is true. When a salesperson doubts their own price, they won't sell. But still on the issue of price, doesn't it get back to the issue you mentioned before, that you need to know your target market? Because you cannot be selling something that's expensive to people who cannot afford that thing.
Absolutely.
Because there are a lot of people who then end up blaming the customer for not buying. Is it the customer's problem? You are selling expensive cars in the ghetto.
Absolutely.
They cannot buy those things.
Yeah, you cannot come and say, I want to sell.
So is it okay for a company to actually say it's the problem of the customers? They're not buying.
No, the customer is never wrong. And it's not about the customer. It's you. Because like what you've rightfully said, it's not about the customer. The customer is, if you're targeting a wrong market, definitely you're going to face many sales objections. Like if you say probably I'm targeting the ghetto and you want to go there and sell. That's why you notice that even in Zimbabwe, when it's okay Zimbabwe, when they're now in the ghettos, it's okay. When they're now in the low density, it's bon marché. The prices are even different. For if you're going to probably milk price in the ghetto and milk price in the low density is completely different.
Different
That's a strategy. They know their market very well. They've studied the market. That's why I said sales and marketing, they are Siamese twins. They have to work hand in hand. Whilst other people are researching on what the market is in need of, the sales people must be. The marketers are the graders. They make sure that the road is open. They make sure that everything is clear. Sales people now are coming with their high-speed vehicles trying to close all these deals. So it's not about the customers. Check on your products. Know how to build value. If they see that there's no value, definitely they're not going to buy. Look at granite. A granite stone, even if you're going to sell it at 1 cent, no one is going to buy it.
Yeah.
But a gram of gold, because why? People have realized and there's value into it. So when you're selling something with value, that's why you notice that when even diamonds were first discovered in Marange, there's a theory that first people to see diamonds, I heard that there were soldiers who had come from DRC. So those people, they knew what diamonds were. So what they would do is they would say the folks in the rural area, please bring those stones here and we'll pay you chickens. So imagine someone exchanging 2 kg of diamonds with a chicken. Because why?
They don't know
you
the
think
value.
that they're just stones. And the guy with the chicken would even say, this guy is a daft. How can he? The whole chicken for stones. Only picking stones and get a chicken. Before you know it, villagers.
They're selling their own resources.
Selling all their resources. You get what I mean? And they'll get chickens. But boom, 6 months after, when they realized that it's a diamond, there were now guns in that area. Soldiers were now there. That stone which you used to exchange for chicken, someone now needs $10,000. So you see, sometimes it's because someone has now identified the value of that stone. That's why the price is actually increased. So if you sell to wrong people, if you talk about business consultants or even sales consultants, to wrong people, definitely they don't see the need.
Yes.
Even if you're going to charge $100, they'll say it's much. But someone who realizes what you're bringing on the table, they're able even to borrow, pay a loan for them to get the value. That's why even if someone right now, if your boyfriend actually be saying you're not married and they're saying you want to be married and he's not marrying you because they're saying they don't have money, that's a lie. If they see something which they really like, I'll tell you, my wife, when I found my wife, I wanted to marry her. I had to go to the bank and I borrowed, yes, to pay what? Lobola. Because why? I'd seen value. But if you don't have value, your boyfriend is going to keep telling you that
I don't have
no, wait. Next year we'll get money. They won't make any effort because they're even doubting whether they're buying value. Yeah.
I get that. Okay. On that issue of the target market, it's a strategy that you have to implement, right? So when do you say this strategy has not worked? When do you measure that from this time frame to this time frame, the strategy has not worked? When can a company now change their strategy to start a new one when they've seen that what they've been trying to do before, maybe it's their marketing, maybe it's the way they've been training their team. When can they actually say, we've actually failed with this one. Let's try another plan.
Yeah, when you implement a strategy, obviously you need to be smart, be specific, supposed to be measurable, and you look at all those factors which are actually involved in that. So you check on everything to say, okay, fine. When we start going after big companies today, like if we're saying it's a company, it was going for small companies, but we are now saying we want to play in the A league. Definitely, it's going to take time to close a big deal. So you need to know to say, okay, fine. If we are sending 2 of our people into big or large corporations, when do we expect them to close the deals? Probably 6 months, probably 1 year. Some other deals is even 5 years. So you need now to say, how can we measure? Let us see the progress. That's why even it's good to set up KPIs. How many companies did we talk to today? How many did we send proposal? How many did we send quotations? How many did we... So it shows you that we are progressing. We are moving towards the right direction. Get the feedback from the clients. Has the market also accepted whatever you're offering? You see? Get that information. Check all the information. It helps you. Sometimes it depends with what you are selling. Sometimes only in 1 month you can realize that this strategy is not working.
Yes.
Sometimes you can also see that in 1 week, this strategy is not working. Sometimes it needs a year for us to really say the strategy is not working. It depends with what you're just selling. So I'm selling a book. Definitely, probably after 2 weeks, I can see whether I'm selling or not.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That is perfect. Okay. So lastly, as we round up, we're going to read one of the questions from your page, obviously.
Okay, yeah.
So there's a person named Milton Chirinda. He sent a message saying, "Hi, Mukoma. I would be happy if you could one day share your thoughts, experiences, and advice about violent or emotional clients in your presentations."
Okay.
I think I've experienced like one of those restaurants. You go to a restaurant, someone gets food they don't like, they shout at everyone in there, they make noise, or even in public transport. There are some customers who are just a bit off. How do you...
Yeah, that's why I
about
say you're supposed to fix your attitude before you fix your customer's attitude. You're going to encounter it. You're going to encounter customers who can actually insult you on the phone. You're going to encounter customers who are violent. But if you fix your attitude, and normally I encourage salespeople out there to use a strategy which I've actually mentioned as the first rule of sales. Always agree with the customer. A customer is saying, I'm not happy about what you have actually given me. I agree with you. Let me check. I'm very sorry about that. Let me correct. I still remember when I went to this other fast food in Zimbabwe. We took some chips and chicken. Whilst we were now eating the chips, there was sand in those chips. But when I went back with the chips, the shopkeeper, do you know what she did? She started eating those chips and started saying, "No, there's no sand. I'm actually enjoying the chips." So if she does that, it shows like I'm the one who is unreasonable.
It's crazy.
I'm the one who is crazy. I had 3 people who said they send in the chips. So the other guy came and said, yes, it's true. There's some sand. Do you know what they did? They gave me chips again with sand. You see, because why? This guy had actually denied to say, whatever feedback I'm getting from the customer, to them it's nonsense.
It's nothing.
It's nothing. So if you're going to address something, if your attitude is okay, and you should use empathy to say, if it was you, if it was me, how was they going to feel? So empathy is very important.
Okay.
Put yourself into someone's shoes. When she could have just agreed. I agree with you, say, I'm very sorry. We've made a mistake. Let us see how we can correct it. Go behind the scenes, test whatever they test. Even if probably she can chew sand. Probably she's a sand eater, that one. She can actually bring other 2 or 3 people to say, please, guys, you guys are not sand eaters. Come and test. Because I was about to be frustrated by what she was doing. When they gave me the second batch again with sand, do you know what I did? I just said, I'm not sending this to your boss. because I'm also close to the owners of that big
That's
fast
when the
food.
trouble
So I just
begins.
said, when I said I'm not going to your boss now, that's when the mood changed. They even came to my car. No, we're not giving you 3 of them. We're not giving. So it's not supposed to be like that. So the moment when you want to deal with violent customers, a customer who has got a problem, sometimes you might think that is a violent customer, but the customer might be justified because they might be frustrated. Know how to deal with customer. Always agree with them. Don't pretend as if the customers are crazy. When they come to you and say, we want our refund, don't be too emotional to say, no, we're never going to give you a refund. Thank you, ma'am. I agree with you. Yes, we will give you a refund, but let us first try to see how we can actually help you. No one is going to be violent. If you see someone is violent when you're speaking like that, that person is crazy. So that's the way you can deal with customers. Like what I always do to you, violent people who comment, especially on my Facebook. I just say you're right. When someone is right, if you object with me, if you say I'm crazy, if you say I'm mad, if you say I don't know, if I just say you're right, I agree with you, you fizzle out. Who are you going to argue with? So you create arguments by saying, no, my point is correct. Yes, and when I'm saying you're right, I'm not insulting your intelligence. I'm saying if right now it's in the morning and if you say it's in the afternoon, where am I to question you? Probably you're in the States of America or you're in China, but probably you're in Zimbabwe, but you're using a Chinese time. Where am I to argue with you? I just say you're right or I agree with you. We end the story and life goes on.
Yes, you've heard it yourself. The customer is always right. Thank you so much, Jerry, for
We'll
sharing
talk
that
about that next time. The customer is not always right, but the customer is a king. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. And you should know that you don't blame the economy. Don't blame your salespeople. Look internally when you're failing to make sales in a company. Join us again next time as we touch more on business and sales. This is Ask Jerry. Join us again next time. Thank you.